Hello, my friend. It is Vitalisy channel. Here we are building a unicorn in real time. In this episode, do founders understand the power of community? What do you need to organize networking event? What is Catalysto and why Snoopy was in space? This and much more in this episode. Let's get it started. And the first one, I want to share the result of founders research I made. So just to make a short recap, I did founders research. I did customer development interviews with founders here in Bay Area to understand their pain points for my future venture club and closed community. And disclaimer, I talked with early stage startup founders, so my conclusions may be not applicable for founders or on late stages of their journeys. And what I found out. So first of all, my hypothesis was true that founders goes on different events a lot. Usually it's 3-4 events per week, which is crazy here in San Francisco. But most of these events are actually unavailable for them because most of them are just networking, and all these events goes in the same way. You just come to the event, you meet new people, you do your introduction, you hear lots of different introductions, and that's it. So it's not a deep connection. And actually, it is really hard to get the right people. Of course, sometimes you're lucky and you meet your person, but usually you are not. And most of these connections ends with just connection on LinkedIn, and that's it. And in a week, you don't even remember these people. The next thing, which is interesting, that young entrepreneurs don't have other entrepreneurs in their inner circle. I mean, in their not in the whole network, but in a closed network of friends, family, and so on. And it is a problem because when you are starting a business, you always want to share some struggles with others and to hear feedback from people who know what you are talking about, from other entrepreneurs. And what was impressive for me is that most of young entrepreneurs, even in San Francisco, don't have other entrepreneurs in their inner circle. And the last thing I wanted to share about the research, that the more experienced founders, the more they understand the power of community. When entrepreneurs just started, so when the founder has his first or her first startup, they really don't understand how to get benefits from the community. What should you do with community? How to use it in your life, and how to give something to the community. And this is very important part that they don't understand. They have to give something to the community to receive something back from the community. And usually when founders had several startups before, they realized how it works, that they should give something, share some ideas, share some connections, make some introductions, and then in some magical way, this community starts to give it back. Young founders, on the other hand, they don't understand it. And every time they go to the event in some community, they expect they won't do nothing, and the community should give them some connections, especially with investors, some introductions with investors or new customers. So the community should, the community must, and so on. This was also really interesting to understand from my perspective for building my club. The next thing I wanted to share, last week I did my first event with my partner Kyosuke. So I was a co-organizer of weekly founders gathering. And actually, it was super insightful for me, because usually Kyosuke did it by his own, and this time I was the person who meets these people on the event, communicated with them. What insights came up? That to make a great, insightful, helpful event, the only thing you need is a great people. It's a great participant, and that's it. If we are talking about networking event, of course, not about like panel discussions or other types of events. If you're talking about networking, the only thing you need is a great, like high curated people in this event, and you should understand if these people are great addition to each other, and so on. In our case, we had our event in the lobby of a hotel. So we didn't rent anything. We didn't even buy water to bring on this event. So we just put a point on a map. We knew that it's a good place, and you can spend there some time, and and you don't need to negotiate with somebody to do it. So we just put this point on the map. We invited founders. There were 10 founders this time, and we had a great time. So that's it. We just met in one place. We could met on the street, I don't know. So I didn't need to organize something special. I just needed to gather them and give them possibility to talk with each other, what we did successfully. And now I have like plus 10 founders in my network in 2 hours, which is great, I believe. So just for you to know, if you want to organize a networking event, if you want to meet new people, actually it's not that hard, especially when you are in San Francisco. So yeah. So, and our next news, naming. We finally decided on a name of our founders and investors club. The name will be Catalysto Club. So we started from the name Catalyst, but of course, all great domain names with Catalyst, like catalyst.com or catalyst.club or others, were occupied. So we decided to move forward and found this version like Catalysto, which is pretty unique and easy to hear, easy to type. So Catalysto will be our club. Catalysto will be the best and the most powerful venture club, founders and investors club in Bay Area for early stage startup founders, maybe not only early stage in the future. We'll see. Why Catalysto? Why Catalyst? Actually, pretty obvious from this name. Catalyst means the substance that accelerates the chemical reaction, which I believe this community should do, this club should do. So we accelerate these reactions, these connections between founders, investors, and we accelerate the growth of founders and accelerate the growth of their startups. So yeah, it's kind of something in the middle which helps you to move faster. next thing I wanted to share for this last month's interview. So I made the first interview on my YouTube channel. If you didn't see it, please, you can check it out. Interview with my partner Kyosuke. And I wanted to share some of my thoughts after this interview. And the first thing that I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed the process so much. I liked it from the beginning to the end. I liked that we did it in a car. It was unusual, and the car, in the end, eventually, it's a great place to talk. It's a great place for deep conversations, I suppose, because nobody can escape, right? And everybody focused on the talk, on each other, and on the road, of course, which is the best part. But in all other words, it was great. I really enjoyed the process. I really enjoyed the ride, the trip. We had a short ride to the oceans and a short talk near the ocean, the coffee, and so on. And it gave me the great opportunity to know Kyosuke better, to understand him better, not only for the interview purpose, but for me as his future partner. I wanted to know this person better, and I think I nailed it. And we spent great time, and I want to continue doing it with other bright people here in the Bay Area. And also our insight with Kyosuke after that maybe it could be like a great format just to take like 5 people, get in the car and just try it, like 1 hour in one side, 1 hour in the other. And this connection will be really deep because all passengers will be focused on the discussion and nothing else. It's kind of another type of adventure together, kind of hiking, but I mean from the format's perspective, because you can be focused on this topic. And this last thing from my working part, actually I want to share about my fail. Another format I wanted to test during the last months for my YouTube channel is going to the event, and then during the event, just ask people on the camera some questions about the event, or some big questions like how to find a co-founder for your startup, or I don't know, why do you need values in your startup? By the way, I have a special video for this question as well. And then I wanted to edit it and do some and make the video with different founders answer on the same questions, and to make it like entertaining and actually useful. And I really failed. So I came to the event. It was also this unicorn pitches event from my friends here. I was talking about this event in my first episodes. So it's an event mostly for investors and founders who pitch their ideas. Actually, they're like from 5 to 10 picked startups who pitch their startups to the audience, and the audience mostly from investors and VC. So it's like ideal place to make a great content. I came there. To be honest, I was late for like 1 hour, and when I came there, I don't know why it was so hard for me to start talk with people, but to ask them to make a video with them and like to get camera, mic, and start and doing this. What I realized, either you are a YouTube blogger on the event and you like run in with a camera and everybody knows that if I come, you have to speak on a camera, or you are a participant who wants to make new connections to participate in the event and as a participant. And you can do both, or maybe I can't do both. So in my story, it was total fail. I didn't do any videos here. I just started to talk with people, and something inside me just stopped me from asking about making a video. Maybe in the future, but I don't know. For now, this format seems to be the hardest for me, and interview was much more better. I mean, from the process perspective, I enjoyed the process there, and here it was really so outside of my comfort zone. Yeah, I also wanted to share some of my live events besides work for these last months. First of all, I had a COVID. I don't know why I'm sharing this here, but why it is important, because I spent more than 1 week in a bed, and from one perspective, it was awful. From the other, it was a great opportunity to take a break and to watch myself from the side and to ask myself another time what I'm doing and what are my plans and so on. So I would say it was a great timing, I suppose. And yeah, besides watching tons of TV series, I had opportunities to think about my life more. Yeah, and I realized that this club or community is something I want to do right now. Maybe it won't bring me money, but it definitely can bring great connections for the future. Next thing, yeah, it was my first Thanksgiving Day in the United States. It was great. I was invited by my friend Johnny to his house, and we had a great dinner with turkey, and actually there was like a mix of Ukrainian dishes because there were our Ukrainian friends and American traditional dishes on Thanksgiving. What is interesting that I asked different people, Americans, what they know about the Thanksgiving Day, what does it mean, and why? What do you celebrate? To be honest, most of them didn't know about it anything, but some of them told me the story. Actually, there are lots of stories I checked on the internet, and one of the stories that's like ancient times when pilgrims came to the United States and got their first harvest and meet local people like Indians. They shared this food with them, and actually these Indians were super thankful to these people, and pilgrims were thankful to God for the harvest. However, other stories said that pilgrims just came and killed these Indians, and it's not very good for the story of Thanksgiving. That's why usually people just thankful to God for everything they have and so on. Actually, if you know like true story behind this celebration, please write in the comments. I will be glad to hear that, because I didn't find one true story. I think it doesn't exist because there are lots of them. Oh, and by the way, why Turkey? Do you know why Turkey? Because I don't. The only one answer I have because we have lots of turkeys here in the United States, and we usually eat turkey. That's why it's our like national national meal. And that's it. Maybe you know other interesting story behind the turkey, because I didn't find them. The next thing I wanted to share, that did you know that Snoopy was in space? Because I didn't. I was on one weekend. I was in a museum of Snoopy, actually of this Peanuts collection of comics, and creator of these comics. So it's near San Francisco, and actually it was really funny, because you can try to draw Snoopy there and try to draw different scenes there, and to find out the history behind this cartoon and comics. What was surprise for me is that Snoopy was in space. Snoopy toy, right? And this doll of Snoopy. Snoopy is a symbol of safety. And in 1968, after the tragedy at Apollo 1, NASA connected with Charles Schulz, who is the creator of Snoopy, to create a Snoopy the Astronaut program. And after this program, so lots of children watched these cartoons with Snoopy, and one of these kids became an astronaut in the future. His name was Mike Massimino, if I pronounce this correctly, and he took his doll Snoopy from childhood with him to space, which is incredible. So Snoopy was in space. I still didn't, and I really want it's my dream actually. Next thing from my life, we finally found our new apartments, and we will move soon. But what I wanted to share with you, I don't know if you are from the United States, you are already familiar with this, but for me it was surprising that there is no price difference between new buildings, new apartments, and ancient apartments from Victorian era here in San Francisco. So you can rent a space in a 200 years old building for the same price as a new building with a pool, gym, patio space, and other stuff. The price will be absolutely the same, maybe slightly different, but usually it's the same. Actually, I didn't understand that. What was also interesting for me, it's background check. So to rent apartments, it's not enough just to have money. You have to have good credit score. You have to have a job with all proof that you have this money to pay for this rent for this next year. I was scared about this process, because I still don't have a job here in the US, and my credit history here is nothing, because I'm here only for like 6 months right now. So it's not something good for this background check. But we met a great realtor whose name Ross, and he just looked at us and said, okay, I see that you're great people. I did not need any background check. You can just go and live here, which was really, really helpful for us. And we skipped this hard process. And now I know that not all processes here in the United States are mandatory. Some people skip them, which is great, which is really similar to Ukraine. And yeah, it's just an interesting thing to know. What else that's very different from Ukraine, that when you rent apartments, you have to buy all furniture, or get somewhere, because you rent the empty space, and that's it. So it is also, it wasn't surprising for me. Now I just need to make it, just to get this furniture somewhere. And yeah, maybe I will talk about this in latest episodes. And the last thing I wanted to share in this episode is Spartan race. It's another event in my life. So it's been a year as I started to work with a personal trainer. I did more than 170 trainings for this year. I was still counting calories, so I count everything I eat. And now it's been a year I'm doing it. That's why I decided to celebrate it somehow. And the best way I found is to finish Spartan race. So it was 10 kilometers with 25 obstacles, with lakes, forests, mountains, and so on. It was super exciting, and this time I really enjoyed it because I had such races back in Ukraine like 5-7 years ago, but to be honest, I wasn't prepared then, and it was so hard for me to finish. This time, it was great to feel like energy and to feel power inside, and to finish this 10 kilometers super easy, actually, and to get this adrenaline, and to feel happy after that. So if you didn't try it, you can do it. Actually, it's a great way to spend the weekend, and just having fun. My plan for the next few weeks is to reanimate my network CRM because I didn't do anything with that for the last 3 weeks, which is not cool. Also, to launch the website for our Catalysto club, we want to conduct our first mastermind session to test this format of the event. I want to make another interview with another great person from the Bay Area and make a research with investors. Actually, to start making this research, I want to talk with 5 investors at least to understand their pain points and how can we get them into club. Also, I finally want to go to NBA game because it's my 6 months here in the US. I didn't manage to do it earlier. I was at these games with my previous trips to the US, but not now. And it is crazy because I love basketball, and NBA, it will be definitely the next event in my life for the next 2 weeks. And moved to my new apartments, and maybe the next video will be from my new apartment. If you found these episodes interesting, helpful, or entertaining for you, please don't forget to put like and subscribe to my channel, and see you in next episode. Thank you so much for your attention, and bye-bye.